Hello Twitch chat, hello YouTube. Today we're gonna do an account review. I'm gonna try to do this all in one take. Not gonna do any retries so it stays authentic. I apologize for the HelloFresh on the screen. By the way, if you do want to support me, you don't have to, but if you're from the US, you can actually order a box. I'll leave a link in the description and in a comment with my code. Let's actually remove it from my screen. Today we're going to go through every single character, how much I spent, as well as, oh yeah, all my light cones. Let me see. There we go. We got rid of it. So I actually prepared a notepad with characters I got in the order I obtained them. So I'll give a little story for each one. There are 38 characters, so I don't I don't want to take too long. Hopefully, I don't want to. Yeah, we'll get started. So, of course, as we all know, you get your main character. He's got, right now I'm running him as a fire break with 171 break effect. You can see his traces here. They're actually quite decent. Not as maxed out as I would have wanted, but yeah, most of the time I do use him in his destruction form though. I did 11 his ult, which, you know, it has a pretty high scaling, 240 or 246, 465 single target. Honestly, one of my favorite characters. Well, you know, always have a soft spot for the MC, but his current build, I'm really happy that he has some use in the game. We'll look at his relics real quick. Full break effect gear and 2-piece Talia as well. So he actually does like pretty good break damage, something like 30 plus K on elites with big toughness bars. But yeah, that is MC. The next character you get in the game is March 7th, and she right now is on a full shield bot / freeze build. I actually haven't been using her as much after I did the DPS March thing a while ago, but if you need a shielder for Swarm, she's the one. You can honestly cheese it with her and Remembrance, but yeah, nothing much else here. She's a fun character. Hopefully she gets a 5-star someday. And speaking of getting a 5-star someday, Dan Heng. I haven't really made a video on this guy yet, but he is actually cracked once you get him to get some of his Eidolons. Right now, I don't really have a light cone on him. When I use him, I give him Zeelas. But I do have him on 10-10-10. Oh, one thing you're going to notice is I'm missing a lot of these traces on characters because I'm completely out of these golden balls. But that's one of the problems I noticed when I started leveling everyone. I'm just running out because you need them. You need like 6 for each character, and I made some dumb mistakes and I used a lot early on to level 10 some. You can see a lot of these builds, the relics are a work in progress, but yeah, we will have a complete build for each character, and I don't need to move around relics. That's honestly one of the biggest pains in the game. I really prefer having, I think all my 4-stars aside from Hanya are now E6, but yeah. So after Dan Heng, you get Asta. I kind of stripped her relics right now because I put them on Hanya, but she's on kind of a speedy build with Dance Dance Dance. This way you get, honestly, for the most of the early game, she really carries you because she's the only harmony you get. But if you're looking for a solid all-rounder, especially for dot teams, she's really strong. I love DPS Asta, that's why I 11 her skill, but realistically all you need to level are these two. Right now I would run her on 4-piece hacker space and 2-piece fleet, so she works in dot teams, but yeah, she doesn't have anything on because Hanya took all her pieces. She is E6, of course. Serval. There is a video coming with her. I don't know when that'll be, but I do use her from time to time. I need a level one of these. I usually give her Jing Yuan's light cone, but yeah, she is also 10-10-10, as you'll see. I did level these, so they took some of my golden balls. But she's running Jing Yuan's old sizzling pieces because he now uses Grand Duke, and she's the perfect one to inherit these. This is still her best in slot set. I think maybe Prisoner is slightly better, but yeah, Glamoth is definitely better than this set, but I have good pieces for it, so I'm just running it on her. And she's a solid 4-star. Now, my first 5-star and one of my favorite characters in the game, and I'm sure as for many of you, Welt. My Welt is E1. I do hope to E6 him one day, but right now I gave him a pretty cracked build. I've committed to doing something dumb. I never recommend this. I spent like 1200 Starlight, and I also got 2 of them on banners when I lost 75-25, but I have his signature at S4. If you run DPS Welt, his best light cone is Incessant Rain for all that stat consolidation, effect hit rate, and damage, but I like playing Drip Impact. I just love this light cone. It just looks so sick. So I will get S5 one day when I lose another weapon banner, pity, or standard. Still working on his traces. Remember, each one of these costs another golden ball, which I just don't have. He will be one of my max out. He has crazy relics though. He has pretty cracked relics. You'll see. Like, all these rolls are useful. This one, kind of unfortunate 2 flat attack, but not going to complain about that. Everything here went well. And the new Glamoth set we got. Oh no. Pretty good pieces as well. So, Welt, one of my favorites. My first 5-star in the game. Love him. The next is Herta, and you can see that she doesn't really have any relics on, but I'm trying to farm Grand Duke right now. Get her off that ice set. I don't know if it's her best in slot, but it should be close. I will run this, so what I'm planning on doing is running a full Fault Attack team with her, Himeko, and Topaz, and then just use that for auto farming. I did 10-10-10 her, and I did use her for quite a bit, but yeah, she's a fun character. Gonna put her on 4-piece Glamoth when I can get it, and this piece is unfortunate, but you know, one day there will be something to buff her, hopefully. Who's next? Natasha, one of the healers that definitely carried me through the early MOCs when we didn't really have many options. Unfortunately, nowadays she's kind of relegated to holding. Actually, I don't even know what she has. Like, I don't even know where to use her anymore. She's one of the characters that I don't have leveled. Of all the traces here, you can see that her basic is level 7. I did use DPS Natasha a couple times. If I do use her again, it'll be as a pure healer, but I just don't know when I'd use her again, if I'm being honest. And it's kind of sad because she is a really nice character. Up next is Pela, and I've been a Pela salesman since day one. So if you see my stats here, she's built as not only a tank, but she's also hyper speed. So 160 plus 4P. You probably, like, you don't need 160 because you get buffs like Hacker Space and other action advance forwards, but this is a good sweet spot with 4-piece Twilight. And she has a 2-turn ult thanks to tutorial. This is not... She was on Incessant Rain this whole time? Wait a minute. She was... I just cleared MOC 10 on full auto, and I just realized that she didn't even have tutorial on. Okay, never mind. With tutorial and ER rope and a level 7 talent, she has just enough to 2-turn ult, which is just crazy. And when you 2-turn ult with a 25% action advance, it's nuts. But yeah, my Pela is pretty decked out. I should get this, but yeah, you'll see. 5 speed, but really I'm prioritizing effect res to get Roken Keel and tank stats. So lots of tank stats, lots of speed. Same thing, every single piece. This, and this is probably one of my most unfair relics. 9 speed, Keel, ER rope. Pretty happy about that one. Yeah, Pela is definitely one of my most well-built characters. I just did auto with her, and she skilled every single turn. Used all my skill points, so a little bit salty about that. But yeah, Pela. Oh boy, no, she's not. Give me a sec. Wait, give me a sec. Where do I even begin? Where do I even begin? Qingque. I feel like my channel was honestly built on this character. When I saw her kit the first time, I was like, there's no way this isn't, or there's no way this can't be good. I read the Eidolons, and then I realized I feel like they meant for her to be a 5-star. I feel like they did, and then they released her with like the rest of her kit. Like, she's a 5-star with all these, but they released her as a 4-star. That's just what I think. This is my Qingque build. I still, to this day, she's my favorite character. I don't think that'll ever change. I just don't think there's any other character in the game that has her dynamics, her playstyle. Now, you're gonna see this and be like, you're not a true dedicated... Like, when I do have the chance, when I have the chance, we'll do it, right? When I have the chance, I'll do it. Okay, this is not a good look, though, because it doesn't use golden balls. Oh, no. Chat's giving me heck. 4-piece Quantum. I was on the Quantum grind for the longest time. I still want a better attack percent boost, but for the moment, I'm not focused too much on relic farming. You can see I have a ton of relics, which we'll go through as well. And I am going to show you at the end how much I spent, because I do keep track of it. But yeah, this is Qingque, and I could spend half an hour talking about her, but we need to get through 38 characters, so that's not happening. Hook the Great. Right now I have her on Wolf Walk Time, which is actually one of her best in slots, because she can maintain a burn on her enemies pretty much indefinitely. 11, 1 point. Yeah, all my characters are minimum 70, 80 with trace investment, but I like end goal, because I really like horizontal and vertical investment. I do want to 80 everyone and maybe get all their traces, but that is tough. Prisoner is actually a really good set for her, so that's what I'm gonna try to get eventually. By the way, I am so sorry for the length of this video, but I just want to get it out there so you can see everything uncut. Hook definitely surprised me with how strong she is. She's definitely a solid 4-star. Honestly, most of the 4-stars in this game are solid. Wow, we are only on the first limited banner. That's how... Well, actually, getting through all the early 4-stars does take some time. But, Seele. Up until this point, up until I got her on, let me see, May 12th, I was free to play. I was enjoying Dan Heng, but I was like, I can't miss out on her. So, I lost my 50-50 like when I was free to play. And then I might have topped up a couple times just to secure her. And then I might have gotten her light cone. So it all went downhill from there. My Seele right now, she needs a bit more crit rate. She's kind of... Yeah, she is pretty much maxed out. Why did I max her out and not Qing? Never mind. She's also got a very solid build on Quantum here with a crit damage body. 2-piece Sal Soto, because I don't have any spare Rudolent pieces or Glamoth. I think I chucked my bad Glamoth Quantum Orb. Nope, I didn't. I don't have any good Glamoth Quantum Orbs. Help me. Help me. Look at this. But yeah, anyway. Seele, I still use her to this day. Very good. Very good in auto farming too. Yeah. Sushang. She is... one of my least used characters, but I do like her a lot. Hopefully she gets a 5-star variant in the future, maybe. It's pretty cool, but I am working towards her finalizing her build as well. Not much to say here. I did use her in the Ghostbuster team. That was really fun. I actually learned how to play her, but yeah, that is Sushang. Let's go to Gepard. One of the ones who carried me so hard through the early MOC 10s versus Cacolia. Oh my, not Cacolia, but no, it was Cacolia. This guy, early game, his shield was like 2300 or something, and bosses didn't hit that hard. So with his shield, even level 8, he was tanking everything. The only problem is he can't cleanse anyone on your team, so if you're frozen, then that's it. So, but him, he was the MVP early on, and I did farm a pretty cracked out Purity Palace set for him. None of these pieces are level. You can see every piece early game you couldn't even get to like 12. It was we had no relic XP, but I have a trillion Belbog relics because Sal Soto domain only dropped that. And on standard banner, I got almost back to back Gepards. So yeah, we have E2 Gepard. I don't really use him much anymore, but I will always be thankful for him in the early game. Next up, we have our man, Sampo. This guy surprises me all the time. So I just want to say for all of these dog characters, I'm currently rebuilding them, getting them off the mix sets and just trying to go full 4-piece prisoner. Good night and sleep well. He's so fun to play. He's got some of those satisfying animations, and he is fun as well as a crit DPS. If you level his skill a lot, it actually has a pretty good motion value for a crit, but on single target at least, and good break potential. But yeah, using either of these three with Kafka is definitely a really good combo. Again, trying to get a good 4-piece prisoner on him, and eventually I will move to Glamoth, but right now he is on Space Sealing Station. Next up, we have Arlan, and oh my goodness, this is one of, I don't know if people hate him or not, but oh, he does have a build on. Oh no. He's a very underrated unit. I pretty heavily invested into him. I didn't get this. But if you do put the effort in, yeah, I'm still like, there are so many relics that I'm juggling around, and I just don't have a good set. Oh my, look at these. I use a self-modeling resin for this. Look at this. It doesn't even look like it's leveled. Like, what is this piece? It's so bad. He has even though this has 15.1 def, 7 speed, lightning orb with 1 roll. You know what? We'll take that, and still working on his rope as well. Arlan E6, you might have seen my showcases. If not, definitely check them out. Arlan can be really good. Every character in this game can be good. You just need to invest in them. Don't look at the 2661 right now. Tingyun, let me tell you. Okay, I think design-wise, I don't know what it is, but she's got this like really smug look to her. But for some reason, it's really... Editor Artumbo here. I'm just gonna cut this part out. Never mind. Okay. Tingyun is one of my favorite characters for sure. I AD'd her. I made a DPS build for her. I've done so many things with her. She's my hard carry. She honestly carries so many of my teams. That being said, I need at least 11 these. Yeah, she's on kind of a she's on a Penny build because I'm using her with Jing Yuan a lot these days. So it's actually worth running this with Memories of the Past or Coggers. So she gets that 3-turn ult, 4-piece hacker space, and she's on full attack right now. So she's super squish. But yeah, Tingyun, definitely one of the MVPs on my account. E6, this thing is... Okay, let me tell you the story of this. Once we get to our next character, I believe, let me look at the list, which is the general himself. Where are you? Jing Yuan, okay? You're gonna see this E2 and be like, why did you wail for this? Because his Eidolons don't actually do much. I wasn't going for his Eidolons. I was going for E6 Tingyun on his banner, because that was the first Tingyun banner. And I got him at 1 pity, and then I got him again at 10 pity. So while I was going for E6 Tingyun, I just happened to get them. E1 is actually kind of noticeable. It says 25% more damage against the target enemy, which is the adjacent one. But it goes from 25% to 50%, so it actually increases the adjacent damage by 100%. I need to stop yapping or else this will be a 1-hour video. Anyway, the king himself... One second. I finally managed after, like... How long has the Grand Duke set been out? Yeah, it's time for the Master Stroke. I finally got a good 4-piece for him. 71.9, 193.5. Oh my goodness. So, one thing you might not know, well, with Hanya, you definitely don't need speed boots. With Asta, you definitely don't. But even more so with Hanya. We got his signature S1, which also happens to be most of the Air Edition characters' best in slot. It's been out for 2 weeks. No, it's been out longer. Again, we're still working on traces. We are so broke. But he carried me so hard, as with Seele in the first Memory of Chaos, because they were all Quantum Weak on one side, Lightning Weak on the other. So you used Seele for one side, Jing Yuan for the other, and you were chilling. So my Grand Duke pieces are finally good. We have this piece, honestly perfect. This piece, it might not look as good because of the lower crit value, but this is actually probably more valuable than the first one because of the attack. This can be improved, but again, 15.5 attack is a lot. And then there's these boots. There's these boots. The only piece that and like Salsodo orbs are so painful to farm, but yeah, this is the only piece that's kind of cope. Still not bad though, 6 speed, and the best rope on my account, the absolute best rope on my account. The king. Let's go to Clara now. Sadly, with Argenti's release, I did take Clara's orb and rope off of her, but she's on a 4-piece Longevous build. Because my pieces for Longevous are better than Fizz. Clara is also one of the other characters that I'm getting an S5 cone on. I did buy this twice with Starlight. Yes, again, don't do that. We're not going to get the 5th one with Starlight because we're just going to let it happen naturally. But yeah, Clara, such a fun character. If you haven't built her, I think you're missing out. She's going to be even further down the line. She's going to be a great character. This is kind of cope. But yeah, these boots are insane. These boots are insane. We need to get a new Fizz orb, and we need to get another. Actually, rope is fine. Like, it's not great, but we just need another physical orb on Salsodo for her. She is one of the characters that I hope to get E6 long term as well. Same thing as Welt, 2 of my favorite standard characters. So yeah, that is Clara. What next? Bailu. Oh my goodness. I feel, yeah, I'm starting to like remember what I did with these characters. Bailu right now, not on any particular build. Level 1 multiplication. Not really maxed out here either, but when I do fully build her again, she'll be on the 4-piece wind multiplication giga hyperspeed build with Keel. She carried me so hard on the other side of MOC when Gepard was on one side. So between her, oh yeah, I just got E1 recently while pulling for, actually just off standard. But Bailu, she doesn't have a cleanse, but when it was early game against Cocolia, because she'd wipe out at least one of your characters, she'd revive Tingyun. So that's what Bailu did for me. Next up, Bronya. A lot of you are gonna be like, okay. Bronya. A 228 crit damage, 42.8 effect res, 135 speed specifically. I may or may not have extended my standard pulls just to get her on the 300 for her standard. I might have done that. I really need to max this out more, but I did completely max the skill, even though I'm pretty sure alt is it's pretty close. I gave her specifically 2-piece hacker space and then a level 9 speed boost so she doesn't outspeed my 135, 136 plus speedy DPS. So her pieces are mainly looking for crit damage, of course. These we can run. We also have a build where it's like 161 plus hyperspeed Bronya with what, like 180 crit damage as well. But most of the time I do run this because it's easier to manage. And on auto, Bronya is a pain if she's not fully speed tuned behind your DPS. So she is E2. Again, I do hope to get her E6 one day, but she's one of the characters because she's so broken that I might not activate the rest of her Eidolon. We'll see. Bronya, still, in my opinion, the best character in the game. And I don't think many people would disagree with that. I feel like it'll definitely change, but right now she is definitely the best. Himeko. I got her off standard, and I have been using her. Again, I am farming a Grand Duke set for her as well. I want to get her... I honestly prioritize aesthetics over strength, so I will get her light cone up one day. And yeah, Grand Duke farming is going great, as you can see. We almost have a set for Himeko, Topaz, and we already finished one for Jing Yuan. So it shouldn't be too much longer now. What does she have for rope? Oh, she has this. But yeah, E0. I don't know how good her Eidolons do. I don't mind getting copies of her, but priorities are Welt and Clara. Up next is Yanqing. It looks like we're going through all the standard characters. Yanqing, early game hero as well. On the other side, as DPS before you got Jing Yuan, you were using Yanqing. I didn't level this because I didn't feel the need to, and I just swapped back and forth between Zeal's Lycone when I needed ice coverage. Right now he's kind of using like Jingnyo's leftover pieces that I didn't give her. But one day I will complete his build as well. He actually has a pretty good space ceiling. You don't want to use space, like his best sets are between Salsodo, Glamoth, and even Rulent too. The crit value is just too good. E1, his E4, honestly none of his Eidolons are crazy, but yeah, single target, pretty decent damage, but not really using him much nowadays. Next up is Silverwolf, and let me tell you, this is one of the characters I use the most in Swarm, because when you're not at the final boss, you're not guaranteed weaknesses, and she just makes your life that much easier. Like when you have to fight enhanced elites, and you don't have weakness, it takes like 10 minutes. Like it's not fun. So she helps me a lot in those situations. I don't think her value goes down at all over time. Like I think she's still great. She's a great option if you need a debuffer. Honestly, even if you discount her weakness implant, she's still good. I wanted to build her as a crit DPS because I love building everyone as a crit DPS, so she's kind of a sub DPS because I got E2. Definitely don't need it. Definitely don't even need E1. I just did this out of my own. This is before I was big into content creating too. Like nowadays, I try to get E0, S1 everyone, but yeah, this is before that time. Silverwolf still one, I guess, you know. Bronya 1, Bronya 2, both very valuable even to this day. After Silverwolf, we have Yukong, and I used her a lot when Imbibitor came out, and nowadays I don't like. I only use her for nuke. Actually, she's still really good for nuke showcase. Okay. You might see this S4 and you're going to be wondering, how do you have so many S4 standard light cones? So aside from those couple Gepards I got on standard, the only things I've been getting are light cones. So that's how these came to be. I put this on Yukong, or I put her on Planetary Rendezvous whenever I run her with Imbibitor. But yeah, getting this up, all that crit value, really good for nukes. And she's built as a sub DPS because her ult with E6 actually does quite a bit of damage. Even her basics hit pretty hard. I don't dare level this in case it hits speed because I want her to be at 134 speed specifically so that supports can outspeed her. And she goes right in front of our main carries like Imbibitor. So E6, of course, still great for nukes. But also if you go for 0 cycles and other showcases, she's also quite valuable. And oh baby, we are at Luocha. Okay. Listen, for those of you who don't know, this is how it is. I was so excited for this character. I was at work, right? It was like middle of the day. For me, the banners come out at like noon, roughly. I think I skipped lunch. I went to the washroom and pulled out my phone, started pulling. Like, that's how excited I was for this character. I saw this, like, I don't know what it is. I'm not, like, I do like Honkai Impact 3 lore, but for me, it's just the design, right? Everything about him, even his kit too. Like his kit is a big part of it, but this character is awesome. Everything about him. I'm actually at a loss for words. That being said, I need to do him justice. This is an E6 character. It's actually embarrassing that he's not maxed out yet. I need to prioritize this. It doesn't matter how little these impact a character. I need to 12, 12, 12 get these just because he's E6. So that's being worked on. Right now he's on 4-piece Wildweed. I think I might move him to 4-piece outgoing healing bonus. But I don't know. Fleet for sure right now is what I have him on. And yeah. Luocha. Do I regret it? Not a single bit. Do I recommend it? Absolutely not. I'm never going to E6 another character. I'm only aiming for E0, S1, and I'll talk a bit more about that when we get to the spending part. Next up, Blade. I remember getting Blade. Okay, so let me tell you, if Luocha is my favorite limited 5-star, Blade is my favorite limited 5-star DPS character. Honestly, when I saw his trailers, all his teasers, I wasn't that excited. After I got him, oh my goodness, the amount of things you can do with Blade. I did all my solos, all the builds, all the teams you can run him in. You can run him as like a follow-up attack. There are just so many things you can do with him. He's got some of the most satisfying animations, and his follow-up attack, honestly my favorite thing in the game. I farmed pretty hard for him on his release. I remember okay, so this sounds dumb. I need to stop yapping. Anyway, Blade, if you haven't tried him out, he's awesome. Who's next? Luka. Wait, Luka was on... Yeah, it's Luka. Ow. I haven't drank water in a while. Luka. Surprisingly, I do have a crit Luka build or video coming out soon. He's shocking. I do have him on. I did get a second Incessant Rain from that banner, first Silver Wolf banner. I got 2 in a in a single multi. That was the only Light Cone banner that I got a double. But yeah. His enhanced basic attack is actually crazy. I completely underestimated it. You're about to see it too. Again, he's one of the characters that you don't need to go 4-piece prisoner on. I also already have these pieces, so I'm not going to switch his build up. Just need a better glove. Actually, I just need to level it. And I think we need a speed rope. But Luka, I will be using him a lot with Kafka as well. His bleeds are actually crazy. Very underrated character. Even though he is single target, he can dish out some pretty substantial damage. And with that, we transition to Kafka. Kafka was definitely the most hyped character, I think, so far, right? I think we can all agree on that. I pre-farmed everything to 10-10 her, and it's so dumb, but the reason why I did that is because I wanted to do crit Kafka 0 cycle MOC 10. The minute I pulled for her, 10-10, give her Light Cone, go into MOC 10, 0 cycle, uploaded the video within the hour. I don't know why I did that. Kafka is still really fun to use. She's the spearhead. No, what's that word? Whatever it is, she leads all dot characters right now. She's like the forefront of that archetype. Running her, of course, she's built. She's got my only prisoner build right now with Glamoth and Enabler. She's the dot core Vanguard. I'm just looking at chat. But I'm happy with her. She can be E0. She's, Kafka. She's only going to get better with time as well. So after that is Imbibitor, and oh my goodness. My friend Xylus and I were talking about him E6ing this, and I was going to follow him, and because he has E3. I was going to E2 him, but I lost 50-50 and then went to almost hard pity And then on his light cone banner, I lost 75-25 and then almost went to hard pity on the light cone banner. It took me around 300 pulls for E0S1. For those of you that want to do the math, 300 pulls is like 6 100 packs. That's for E0S1, that's awful. So I just stopped. I was honestly a bit tilted, but this is his build right now. Max out his basic. The characters that want their basic prioritized. Wait, did I say 100 packs? 6 packs. Wait, did I say 100? Drink more water? Wait, what? He's on a mixed 2-piece set because I can't get a good 4-piece. I meant 6 $100 packs. It's mixed 2-piece because I don't have a good 4-piece banditry for him because it's on a Welt. But yeah, kind of a Copian Rudolent rope, but this is decent. What, did I really say 100 packs? Wait, is that what I said? Still solid to this day. I love the character in general. Glad Dan Heng got his time to shine, but I don't think after that experience I'm going for any more Eidolons. Plus, again, I'm only aiming for E0S1, and I'll do some explanations for these red exclamation marks as well. But yeah, next up is Lynx. Lynx right now doesn't have a build, unfortunately. Huohuo took all her pieces. Again, these standard light cones, I don't know what it is. They love me. I have them, and it's being unused. I could go for a big nuke with this at some point when I do DPS Lynx, Bailu. I'm signing myself up for something I don't want to do. But yeah, I did 11. I used her so much with Clara. She's still one of Clara's best healers because this skill actually makes it so that Clara gets hit consistently. Unless you run Tingyun. Tingyun will still get hit, but the story with this, okay, is I was going for Eidolons and I still haven't learned my lesson to this day. When you go for Eidolons, you end up paying the price for it, and that's what happened with Fu Xuan. So we're on to Fu Xuan. This character is the literal Zhong Li of Star Rail, and let me tell you, the game is completely different once I started using her. I'm like, this sounds, it's not that I regret Luocha E6 at all, but honestly, I use Fu Xuan and she's E0, right? More than Luocha. Like, she feels more reliable to use than him. Because there are times when he can get CC'd or you need to take a big hit with Fu Xuan's field active. If you manage to keep it active and you're not being dumb, then she'll keep you alive. I made sure to at least give her a really solid build with her signature. We will be maxing. I don't know why she has 17.4 crit rate on her traces. What are you, like, what are they doing? But yeah, she's got a pretty solid build here. 7 speed, 4, but effect res. Yeah, she's got over 50% effect res as well. So it's really hard, even if, like, taking dots, I guess, is really important. Resisting those. But yeah, Fu Xuan, definitely the savior for me. I use her in all my DPS showdown. I try to, because she makes it more consistent with the crit rate. And a lot of people don't have Huohuo and I can't use Luocha in showdowns because, let's be real, this is completely unrelatable. After Fu Xuan, oh my goodness. Okay, I know, chat, you're about to say fake Qingque main because of this, but hear me out. The only reason why Jingyo is completely maxed out, my only completely maxed out character, is because she is my my support character, and I want to give all the people on my friends list the best support possible. So to do that, I needed to max her out. There's no other reason. Now, was it worth it? I don't think so, because I needed to use all my golden balls, but she is my first fully maxed character. Now, do I regret anything about her? No. She's definitely one of my... Honestly, no, she is my strongest damage dealer. By a good amount. You'll see just by looking at her initial stats page that she is quite cracked. One of my most used characters as well. She is kind of nuts. So she's E0 with her signature light cone. I'm not going to go any further on her, of course. I'm really happy with her damage. Again, 4-piece ice, 2-piece rutilant. I do want to improve the headpiece and the gloves. You might be like, how are you going to improve them? They have so much crit damage, but when, like, I like min-maxing, right? And it depends on the character. For Jing, I want to min-max as much as I can. Let's go in order. So boots, not that crazy. I'm still really I'm more happy about this than the head and the gloves because it's way harder to get a good boots, really good boots, honestly. Her rope, 30 crit damage, you know, pretty solid. Orb, I think I put this on Relic Score and this got an OP rating. This is 5 rolls into the perfect stats. Ice Orb on Rutilant. This is probably my best orb on my entire account, but yeah, she's pretty cracked, and she's got my absolute best relic on my account in general. This crit rate body, the one that I flex everywhere. Crit rate. How many people do you see run a crit rate body on Qingque? So 27.2 crit damage. That is 4 rolls, and then like the cherry on top is an extra attack percent roll. 5 rolls in the right stats on a crit body. Crit bodies are the hardest things to roll because you can only get 1 crit subset. This is by far the best relic on my account, and I don't think I'll ever get anything close to this. So really happy with this. And yeah, she is my best built character as well as a result. Next up, we have Guinifin. Where are you? This girl, oh my goodness, my first age restricted video on YouTube. I'm not proud to say that, was because of Guinifin. I'm not gonna say why, but it is because of Guinifin. Honestly, she's been a blast to play with, especially with Kafka. Same story with same story with Sampo though. I'm still farming look at her talents. See, I do a good job with leveling them. Still farming a good 4-piece prisoner for her. I will be using her a lot in the future, not only with Kafka, but also with Hook, even teams that benefit from burn. So I think she's got a lot of value. I did manage to E6 her luckily before getting, just kidding. Segue into Topaz, another one of those characters that I unfortunately went for the E6 4-star and paid the price for it. If you're wondering why I'm not activating the Eidolons, I want to get as many of these showdowns and content out of the way at E0 before I activate them, just because it's, you know, it's not the same. Like, I can activate them. It's not that I don't want to, it's just that I don't want to ruin the integrity of a comparison just because I activated an Eidolon. Plus, this one is really cracked. E1 Topaz is super cracked. But yeah, Topaz, she's also working towards a good 4-piece Grand Duke. Yeah, toggleable Eidolons would be huge. I would honestly kill for that. But yeah, really good character, very surprising, works really well with Jing Yuan, and she's only gonna get better in the future. She's like a different kind of Kafka, but very solid. Like, you can't go wrong with pulling her. It's really hard to see her value sometimes, but if you know what you're doing, she's got a really good fire orb too. I would run attack percent rope. This is just a placeholder because I'm out of South Soda ropes. But yeah, Topaz, very solid character, and she's also got very big planets. See that planet? Okay, next up we have Huohuo. Okay, Huohuo is a lot of people compare her to Fushuan and Luocha, but she is her own character. You can't, it's comparing apples to oranges. And not on auto. She's not fun to use on auto. She's great though, if you know what you're doing. And I wanted to run her on E0 with my S5 shared feeling, and then I made a dumb bet. So the way I got her E1 and S1 is I made a bet with chat. I said I will clear plane 1 with solo Qingque Swarm Disaster in 10 attempts. If I don't, I'm going to E1 S1 Huohuo as a punishment because that was the banner at the time. And yeah, we didn't manage to do it. So that's how this came to be. Honestly, one of the least impactful Eidolons and signatures for sure. So a bit of regret there. Not saying they're bad, but it's like you definitely don't need it. And when I do run her, I still use S5 Shared Feeling a lot because it's so good. But yeah, you gotta, if you pull Huohuo, it makes such a big difference when it's energy. Like when you level something and it gives more energy, it makes such a big difference. So if you do get Huohuo, 10ing her ult is very important. I need to farm more passerby because I don't have any speed on these. She is solid though. She's still solid. Like she'll be functional. Next up, we have Hanya. And we recently, not just recently, like literally an hour ago, we pulled for E3, and I'll explain that in a second. Actually, no, I'll explain it now. We're about to do a DPS Hanya build. But, so to do that, the E3 increases skill by 2, which was kind of important for that build. I was happy with E1 or E2, and unfortunately, as with every single time I go for 4 stars. This should teach you a lesson, right? Look how many 4 stars I've been pulling, and then I get the E1 5-star. I'm not trying to get these. They just happen because I'm going for the 4-star. Whatever you do, if you think you're gonna build pity, stop. Stop trying to build pity. It's not gonna work. But she's right now mostly in Argenti support. Very solid build right now with Planetary Rendezvous and very high level talents as well. If you 80 her, or 75 even, you can get this. And yeah, 4-piece hacker space. She took all of Asta's pieces, but it needed to be done for... She's on Von Whack? Oh, because Tingyun's on Penacony, so she's not going to be able to use it. But yeah, Hanya, very solid Harmony unit, and going to use her a lot moving forward. And that brings us to the final character, Argenti. Man, I'm so happy they made an Erudition character. I'm so happy that Erudition looks good nowadays, because Jing Yuan with Grand Duke, Argenti with, you know, Argenti's just solid. I don't know when I'm gonna activate this, but it's basically 40 crit damage. It's really good. It's about 10-15% more damage depending on the team you run. He's got a solid build, signature light cone, 888. You see, I am, in terms, you definitely want to level his ult more than that. But my Fizz pieces, this one is really solid. Still working on the gloves, but rolled this, I think, yesterday. Oh, baby. But yeah, he's got a pretty solid build and also a good rope. Between him and Jing Yuan, no AoE content stands a chance. And that is every single character. So that's not all we're gonna do though. That's not all. Let's take a look at some of the other things that chat wants me to talk about. So before we, let's take a look at the light cones first, because this is actually farming materials. You can see we have a good amount of stuff stocked up, kind of. Most of these are from SU and the dailies. We have a bit of this, bit of these. Nothing crazy though, like a moderate amount. And light cones, you'll see that I am collecting every single one. Right, I'm collecting every single one. Forget all these superimpositions. We do have a second copy of Bronya. But yeah, you can see that we have a wide selection of these. Ooh, we can even superimpose this one. So I probably will be saving a lot of the common ones that are used often, like Planetary Rendezvous. Maybe another one of these. I feel really bad for F2PIs right now because, yeah, I'm even getting all the Battle Pass light cones. So I don't think people... What's the screw? Yeah, this one. How many people actually have that? But yeah, that is the light cones. We can take a quick look at our relic stash too. We have a healthy amount. Now, one thing I will say is, on average, I've probably refreshed about 5 times a day to get everyone built 70 out of 80, right? About 5 times on average. Starting literally today, I am not refreshing a single time in this game and Genshin. I'm done. There's no reason for me to. I've got a sufficient amount of relics. There's no way they release characters at a rate faster than I can build them anymore. Everyone built. I like min-maxing, but not just financially, but also like I want to enjoy saving for a character and not, you know, spending all my J's on refreshing, playing that way. It feels more fulfilling. So as far as that goes, no more refreshing, we just natural growth. Now, chat wants me to show you one thing in particular, because I made this joke once. I said that I pre-farm for characters using this, and let's just say we have a good stash. Honestly, okay, this stash was almost at 400 at one point. That's how bad it was. Okay, you buy this from the shop here, and it's in contracts. Yeah. Oh my goodness, they're all sold out. Don't look at that. Also, you just saw how many shards I have. That's because I haven't used them yet. Ignore the amount of shards I have. Okay. Anyways, we are not trying to spend as much on this game anymore, and that brings us to the final part of this video, where I actually go through how much I've spent. Now, if you take a look at this, you might be a little bit it's a bit concerning, I know, but let's break it down. You can see at the beginning of the game, this was May, right? I was still free to play. And then I caved, got Seele, and it went downhill from there. June, that's when Luocha came out, and we know the story with that. Got E6. July was a slower month. Whoever came after that, it was not Serval, Blade, Kafka. But August is where it really hurt, because it took me what, $600 worth of pulls. Also, these are in Canadian dollars, so 600 worth of pulls in Canadian dollars is like 800, 900 US. Or no, it's the other way around. What am I talking about? No, $600 in US was about 900 in Canadian. So this Imbibitor himself costed most of this, and then a little slower month, and October picked up. I think it was Fushuan. I was trying to get Lynx. This was when I was going for all those Eidolons, and you can see it's been going down, which is good, and it's going to keep going down because we're not refreshing anymore. So again, I do not advise you to spend on these games, but I'm still going to cut down on the spending because honestly, it doesn't feel fulfilling to me, and I don't need to refresh anymore. So that is that. These are my characters. This is my Qingque, my anyway, that pretty much sums it up. I don't know how long that took. I might need to cut it a bit, though. I think I talked the entire way through. For those of you who do know, I am going on vacation for a bit. I do have some videos planned, and I will still be able to be active on like Discord. By the way, links will be in the description if you want to follow me on Twitch, Discord, whatever. But thank you all for your support. Thank you, Twitch chat. Thank you. You know who you are. My mods, the community. The only reason why I can do what I do is because of you, and I just want to thank you for that. So appreciate it a lot. And I don't know what I do, honestly. Like, it makes me look forward to making, like, I look forward to making content because I know that I have such a strong community behind me. So I just want to make sure you understand that I am very appreciative of it. But with that, this video is getting way too long, probably. I will see you when I'm back. Thank you for watching. Until next time.